Prince Harry won't be welcomed by King Charles after unforgivable attacks on Camilla. Prince Harry is visiting London this week for the first time in 4 months, but he won't be invited to peace talks with his father King Charles, claims Princess Diana's confidant Paul Burrell. Prince Harry is making his final preparations for his trip back to the UK. Welcome to Royal Expert. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any news about the British royal family. It's only the second time King Charles' son has returned to his homeland this year. He made a whirlwind trip to see his father's crowned in May, and returned a month later for a court case. Last time, Harry spent less than 24 hours on his home turf, and it's likely this week's visit will be just as brief. Princess Diana's confidant Paul Burrell exclusively tells the Mirror there's no chance he'll be invited to visit his dad King Charles III. In fact, it's likely a meeting is completely off the table because Charles can't forgive Harry for attacking his wicked stepmother Camilla. Burrell tells us, "I don't think there is going to be any meeting. These talks were murmured at Prince Philip's funeral. There were murmurs at the Platinum Jubilee. They were murmured at the Queen's funeral. They're murmuring now. It's not going to happen." King Charles is currently preparing for a state visit to France later this month, and Burrell says Harry will find it difficult to get to his dad. "The royal diary will be very full," Burrell says. "And when Harry arrives, it will be impossible to get a meeting with any of this family. Because you know what the royals do. They all gather together in solidarity, and they pull the drawbridge up. And Harry won't be able to see them. He'll do his own thing and then leave the way he did at his grandmother's funeral." Prince Harry had some choice words about his stepmother Queen Camilla in his memoir Spare. King Charles won't have forgotten the remarks made about his wife. Burrell says Harry knows the rules and won't make an attempt to see his family without a formal invitation. "He knows the regulations, he knows the protocols," Burrell says. "He knows that even though he could probably drive up to Kensington Palace and go through the police because he's a prince. And he could probably knock on Kate and William's door. But he knows that's not what he should do. Because he won't go anywhere near a royal residence and he will not bother the royals unless he's invited in." Burrell says Harry chose this path and it's going to be difficult to find a way back into the good graces of his family. "The royal agenda is not to have peace talks with Harry," Burrell says. "He's a petulant prince who has to think about this very carefully. And it won't happen for some time yet." Burrell, who served as footman to the Queen and her husband for 11 years before going into Princess Diana's service in 1987, says, Prince Philip would say, "You've made your bloody bed, now you can lie on it." He would. And I think that's the royal way. It's, "You chose to say all of these things, we didn't." Burrell says there's no appetite for a reconciliation while members of the family are still angry and still hurt. And King Charles is clearly still smarting after his youngest son said he begged him not to marry Camilla as he feared she'd become his wicked stepmother. Writing in his memoir Spare, Harry called Camilla dangerous and said she was a villain who left bodies in the street when she tried to win public favor. Harry wrote of Camilla, "I have complex feelings about gaining a step-parent who I thought had recently sacrificed me on her personal PR altar." Burrell claims Charles sees the personal attacks on Camilla, the love of his life, as unforgivable. Burrell adds, "To criticize Camilla in such a way, in such a public way, his own son, criticizing his stepmother in this manner is unforgivable. And I think, although Charles loves both his boys, he finds this a very difficult bridge to cross. Because so much has been said that shouldn't be said." Prince Harry has also lost public favor after his attacks on Camilla and his sister-in-law Kate Middleton, and Burrell says he's likely to be booed again if he's seen in public in London. Isn't it interesting that the two most important women in the country have been criticized by Harry, Camilla, and Kate, Burrell says. That's not fair. That's not fair in love and war. Burrell knows the royal family hold a grudge for a very long time, and a reunion between the two sides of the family seems unlikely for now. It's still raw, and the royals are not easy in forgiving, he says. When something happens, they pull the drawbridge up and you can't get in. So be careful what you say, because it can be very, very cold. Thanks for watching till the end.